Hello from Nicosia, Cyprus. This is Chef Andros. Right now I am boiling snails to make my escargot bourguignon. Actually, what I am doing now, I am pre-cooking the snails, and I have the option when they are pre-cooked to get rid of the water in the casserole and use the snails to make many other recipes. In a previous video when I made savory snails, I made this procedure exactly. So I washed my snails thoroughly. I put them in a good quantity of water, and I pre-cooked them so that I wouldn't have any slime or any dirt in my recipe later. So what I did today, I have here about just more than 4 dozens of snails, and the water is about to boil, and I wanted you to see the moments that I will clean my snails. As you know, the shell of the snail is an alkaline in terms of chemistry, and this is why the snails they are found mostly in areas where we have limestone, because it helps the snail to build up the shell. These small lines you see on the snail, because the snail every time it comes out of the shell, some of the slime comes out of the shell and it forms new lines, and the snail is getting bigger and bigger. These snails, I presume that they are 5 or 6 years old. They are not huge, but you see, in Cyprus our climate is very hot in summer, and our winter is fairly cold, but the snails, they come out in October, when the first rainfalls occur in Cyprus. We don't have rainfall like in other countries. This is a rather dry country. So they come out in autumn to eat and give birth to their eggs. Every single snail is laying eggs, because the snails, they are both male and female. So talking about alkaline, I will do something using an acid to clean the snail shell thoroughly. So my snails started boiling, and at this point I will add a good amount of salt, like this. The salt will help the slime to come out of the snail. But of course, as I told you before, my aim is to clean the snails and pre-cook them, because it will take another 40 minutes to cook them in a new recipe like the savory snails, or I will show you how to cook the snails and prepare them for the escargot bourguignon. So at this point you see that there is a white foam that we must start removing from the casserole, like this. I have a dish next to the casserole. So we must keep taking the foam out it will make more foam, and I will take it out. And the final thing I will do, I will add to my casserole some wine vinegar. So I have about half a glass, about 120 milligram. This is about a quarter of a pound in weight. But watch what I will do. Now that my snails, they have been boiling for a few minutes, because it's only pre-cooking, I will not boil them for 45 minutes. I will boil them only for about 10 minutes. So you see that there is more foam, and I will add the vinegar. And watch what is happening. The acid, because vinegar is acid, it will remove all kinds of dirt from the snails. And of course it will remove a very, very small percentage of the shell away. In other words, if you put a snail shell in pure vinegar, after a few days the snail will almost disappear. So you see, I put the vinegar in the casserole, and there is more foam coming out now that I have to remove immediately, like this. This is a lot of foam. It is all the dirt coming out, because even if you wash the snails thoroughly, some dirt will remain onto the shell. But in this method, when you put the acid, it will remove. So this is very critical. This is you have to do it every time you are cooking snails. You have to pre-cook them. Now, if you want to eat them boiled, just like that, you could as well drain the snails and boil them in another casserole with clean water, in which you will add a few condiments. Maybe you can add a bay leaf or I don't know, some spices, so that it will be smelling nice. And the boiled snails, if you will choose to eat them boiled, you can prepare separately some olive oil together with vinegar and or lemon and some salt. So it's going to be olive oil, vinegar and lemon juice, or olive oil with lemon juice and some salt. And when you take the snails out of the shell, you can dip them into this nice olive oil dressing and enjoy them boiled. And normally we do this with the smaller white snails. So at this point, I will drain my snails. I will remove them from the casserole. Like this. I will let them cool a little bit, and I will continue with my escargot bourguignon, because this is the recipe I was telling you before that I will make for you. And I am not against using snails from the can, but I am a chef. I want to make my own escargot bourguignon by cooking the snails as well. So these are the boiled snails, and you see that they turned a little bit white because the vinegar removed all the dirt away from the shells. So I will be back with you with the escargot bourguignon. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye. This is Chef Andros.